Hey, Writerly Besties, and welcome back to the Writing with Anna new podcast, where we talk about, of course, all things writing. And in today's episode, I am very excited to talk about how to write good plot twists. I adore writing plot twists. I adore reading plot twists too. I just think plot twists truly just add so much to your story. Just really makes you feel so cool when you're writing them. But you may have come up with the idea of how do I actually write good plot twists? How do I come up with them? What are they for? Should I include plot twists in my book? Well, we're going to be talking about all of that today. So I want to get straight off the bat, started. So I just kind of wanted to talk about firstly the kind of preconceptions about plot twists, right? So people kind of think of plot twists as to come up with an idea is to think about the most crazy thing and make it work for your story, when that actually does not work most of the time. And I feel like you just thinking of the most crazy thing, my imagination is not good and it doesn't stay confined to the actual laws of the story and the whole theme. So for me, that sort of preconception of writing whatever you want and writing something crazy that the audience will never expect, I find that kind of not very helpful. So that's just kind of something I wanted to start with by saying I don't really agree with that. And though I guess you can get some ideas when you go through that sort of thought process, I think it is not very helpful, because it doesn't doesn't work out a lot of the time. You kind of lose a lot of relevance. Is that a word? Relevance. For some reason my brain doesn't work anyways. And also significance in your story, because plot twists truly need to be significant. What I want to kind of talk about also is why you should actually think about, writing plot twists in your book, why you should incorporate them and weave them into your story. And I have 3 little things that I kind of think about of why you should, be continually listening to my podcast right now and also just, include them in your story. So the first thing is it's fun to write, and I literally love plot twists because it's just coming up with them is the most fun. Basically, that's all I really plot when I start writing. I'm a pantser, if you know, and I just write plot twists and plan them because they're honestly the most fun things to do. And it's also really, really enjoyable. And just, I don't know, I feel very secretive and very cool when I drop hints and just kind of know where those hints are going to go to reveal the big plot twists. The second thing why you should, put plot twist in your books is because it makes your story pop. It makes it 3D and makes it really unique. And I just think when I think of my favorite stories, I feel like they had the biggest plot twists. For example, I'm thinking about now Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. Amazing story. And I think the sort of hook of the story really was so, dependent on the plot twist, and those are the stories I love so much. But we're going to be getting into that sort of idea a little bit later. The third thing of why you should put plot twists in your book is because it feeds into the idea that not all stories are perfect, which is a good thing. I think some stories are just, too unrealistic. The characters go here and then everything good happens. Maybe something bad happens, but then it's all good at the end. When plot twists really just put an unexpected spin on your story, and it truly just reveals so much about your story, but also the characters and how they respond to that big reveal, that big change in the story. So those are the 3 sort of things that I'm please write plot twists because they're so fun. Okay, so now I want to get into some more sort of things that you should think about in terms of why, just making sure that you're not doing these plot twists for these reasons. Don't write plot twists for shock value, and it's not good to kind of, write plot twists for solely this reason. If you want a character to die for no reason, it doesn't add to the story, you don't even make an effort to make it seem like it helps the story, progress, if it's actually relevant, significant, if it plays into the meaning of your story, it's not a good thing. If you just make, kill off a character and just do it so the audience is oh no, that character. Like, don't do that. It's kind of like not a good thing. And I feel like when I do read stories that have that, you're just like, oh, okay. And it kind of has the opposite effect, if that makes sense. Also, make sure your plot twists matter. And I know, like, I kind of say in my episodes about how I really, really encourage people just to like write what they want, even if it doesn't really progress either characters or the plot. But in terms of plot twists, I really do think they have to be significant and they just have to kind of, do something to the story, really like feed into your idea of your story and the sort of like, morals of your story, the message of your story. If it kind of enhances that, you are spot on. But if it doesn't, and again, it's for shock value or those sort of like, surface level reasons, you probably shouldn't be, approaching plot twist with that mindset. Okay, so now with that in your mind, I want to get into actually how to write plot twists and how to kind of come up with ideas. So I wanted to start off with my key ideas that I like to kind of go to whenever I'm writing a new book and plotting a new book in regards to plot twists. So these are kind of themes that I really draw on, and I have 4 of my favorite themes that I want to actually share with you today, and I'm just gonna list them off right now. So the first plot twist I really love is betrayal. I think betrayal really just reveals a lot about your characters. It's so fun to write. The dynamic change in the characters is truly really interesting, especially if there's something really like, climactic about like the situation your character's in. If there is a betrayal, it's very easy to drop in hints, and it's also something that's very believable because a lot of characters have different motives. What am I saying? So yeah, first, betrayal. Think about that. Think about maybe your characters betray one another. Maybe the bad guy is actually the good guy. Those sort of dynamics. The second sort of concept that I like to think about whenever developing my plot twists is weather and magic. And these are just kind of external entities within your story that can play into amazing plot twists. And what I really like about this is, it's something that doesn't seem like an integral part of the story that would like induce something as big as a cool plot twist. And sometimes it doesn't have to be too big. But I think when you're dealing with fantasy worlds, especially, and there's some sort of weather element, some sort of magical world building element, it's something that is kind of like, mixed within like the lore of your story, the characters, but having something revealed like at the end of the story, maybe there's like a magic relic or something that, help the characters all the way, or maybe something else happened like that. I think is just so natural to your story, but also like unexpected as well. And that's why I really love that sort of concept. Okay, the third thing, sudden death. I know I kind of said at the start of the episode about like, don't kill characters, but I think it's, it's kind of natural. In terms of like death with characters, I think it does impact the other characters. And of course, as I said, make sure you have a reason to kill off that character. But the sudden, death sort of will happen, I guess, or would be most impactful at the climax of the story. Presumably not your main character because it's not probably, the end of your story yet. I mean, literally, I've never really read a book where the main character dies. I'm actually writing a book where the main character dies, and she is actually first person, like telling the story, which is going to be epic. But as I'm saying, there has to be a true, sort of meaning to that death. And I think it's a very easy, overlooked sort of like, I think everyone uses it, but it's very powerful. And I think if you can really make it matter, really make it play into your story, your themes, and the sort of motifs of your story, it will really It will really hit the nail on the head. Yeah, that's it. It will just really help enhance your story and just make sure it's relevant, of course. But also I wanted to say, what did I say before? I said natural. It's natural because people die. I guess the stories you're writing, it's going to be dangerous if you're writing a fantasy, for example. Your characters are going to be in dangerous situations, And having no death, at least like no sort of injury to your characters, which is very like significant, like they lose a limb, they go blind or something like that, or they die, I think that just makes it very really just shows and reminds the audience of like how, you know, dangerous and how like much they're putting their lives and like souls on the line for the story and for what they believe in. So again, yes, sudden death. The fourth thing that I like to think about is unintended messages or like big reveals to be kind of revealed to characters that was not meant for them. So this can kind of be at the end of the story when it's revealed. I don't know, like if I was the main character, I would be like, it would be revealed that one of the other characters is actually the son of the Dark Lord, but like the other character doesn't know it. So that sort of reveal to me as a character is not meant for me, but it still is something subtle, not something completely, you know, cosmic, like a cosmic change in the story, but it's still very much on a character level, and the way I view that character who's the son of a villain, you know, it will change that dynamic. And especially if you are writing the series, this is a really, really cool concept. Okay, so with that, I said 1, betrayal, 2, weather and magic, 3, sudden death, and 4th, unintended messages or reveals. Okay, so with that in mind, those are just some ideas to kind of think about. But of course, when I'm kind of doing this episode, I do want to give you some tips, some ideas to actually kind of come up with your own ideas too. So usually my stories hinge on plot twists, as I said about Piranesi, which is like my favorite book. Please read it, by Susanna Clarke. Her plot twist, I guess, at the end of the story, which was still so epic, it makes me cry every single time I think about it. Anyways, that kind of hinges on, like, the whole, like, premise of the story hinges on that one plot twist. And I think that's where a lot of my own ideas come from, is I kind of think about, oh yeah, this happens. This is the fact. But I don't realize that it actually is a plot twist. I would love to give an examples, but I really don't want to like spoil any of my books so far. I really, really wish I could, but yeah, I just want to kind of, yeah, let you know that that's how I come up with plot twists. And a few people actually said I don't know, people think I'm not good at plot twists, but I think I am very good at plot twists. And that's the reason, because of course I have these ideas that, for example, if I use the example before about that character being the son, that's just a fact, right? That's just a fact in like your world building when you plan your book, but you can turn that into a plot twist. And that's kind of where I get the idea. And the tip I want to give you guys is look at what your stories are, what your ideas currently are, and you can make them into a secret, something secluded from the characters, from the world, and reveal it at the end of your story. Make it into a plot twist, even if it's like action or just a reveal. Again, it's something that can really enhance your story. So the second thing that I kind of want to share about this is to look into your story's potential. And what I mean by that is look at your characters and also your world. So when you're looking at your characters, maybe your characters' relationships, their character flaws, how can this kind of make your little wheels and your little brain turn? So for example, if a character is very, what's the word, very self-conscious of some sort of weakness they have, maybe that can turn out to be a big plot twist of them actually, you know, that being a very big strength at the end of the book. Or maybe there's a reason to why they're feeling so weak in that area of their life, and maybe, you know, a character or like a villain had taken that away from them, or like maybe they got cursed. Those sort of reveals really do like help you think about, you know, these amazing plot twists. And also world building, of course, I said about magic, about weather. Think of that, you know, think of those themes. The third thing I want to kind of share about this is inspiration. So look at your favorite books, your favorite movies, your favorite shows. Take inspiration from them. Of course, don't copy them, you know, but you can definitely take inspiration, because as I always say, inspiration always comes from everywhere, and there is always no such thing as an original thought. So yeah, just think about that. Maybe even think about twisting the plot twist. What's that called? The plot twist of the plot twist is a plot twist. My brain's not working. Anyways, those are kind of, yeah, the three sort of ways that I get my ideas from in terms of like getting ideas for new plot twists is, of course, firstly, as I said, kind of looking at my own story and looking at the facts and making them secret. The second thing, looking at your story's potential in regards to the characters and the world building. And third, inspiration from all your favorite sorts of media and books and stuff like that. Even stuff in your own life too. Like, take inspiration from that as well. Anyways, that is it for this little episode. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, definitely please follow me on Spotify. That would mean the world. And of course, comment down below on my YouTube video just how you kind of found this. And I really hope it helped you guys. If you need more help, definitely just let me know. And if you want another video, like an actual tutorial on this, definitely, of course, let me know. But anyways, I wish you luck with writing, with plot twists, with everything. And I hope to see you in my next writing episode. Bye, guys.